You found yourself on another edition of Let 'Em Know Kings United. It is going to be a Raw reaction episode because I needed to get this out very quickly. But Kawhi Leonard and Paul George got hot early, and they were simply unstoppable as the Clippers shot the lights out of the Chicago Bulls. We're going to talk about this Bulls loss on Let 'Em Know Kings United. And now, ladies and gentlemen, it is that time for the post-game reaction podcast of the Cleveland Cavaliers, Sacramento Kings, and the Chicago Bulls. This is Let 'Em Know Kings United. Let 'em know, Nation, you already know what time it is. Welcome to a special Raw reaction edition of Let 'em Know Kings United, your Cleveland Cavaliers, Chicago Bulls, and Sacramento Kings postgame reaction podcast. I'm your host, Carlo Weisberg. Thank you so much for tuning into today's program. And you can find Let 'em Know Kings United, which is 100% completely free and available on your favorite podcast app, whether it's Spotify, Amazon Music, Pandora, iHeartRadio. The show is right there and everywhere else you listen to this podcast. You can also find this show on my YouTube channel, NJHawk40. If you are watching this show on YouTube, do me a favor, hit the like button on this video. If you enjoy the show, hit subscribe to my YouTube channel, hit that notification bell so you know when the next time Let 'Em Know Kings United goes live on YouTube, and leave a positive comment down below. Give the show a follow on those platforms if you can, please. Turn on your notifications so you know about the next episode. Please rate, spread the word out to your friends, and give Let 'Em Know Kings United a 5-star review on whatever podcast platform you're listening to this on. It is an amazing way to support the podcast, and I truly appreciate each and every one of you for tuning in. First and foremost, a little positive injury news before we get into the show. Coby White suffered a hip injury last game against Indiana. I am being told that he is day-to-day, and the hip was not seriously injured. Billy Donovan said it's not that serious. Coby White was ruled out, so good news on the injury front for the Chicago Bulls as they avoided in what could have been a very, very severe injury. And if Coby White was out for the season, then the season of the Chicago Bulls would have been over right then and there, because Coby White, he does such a good job of facilitating the offense. And unfortunately, speaking of offense, the Bulls were not there tonight. Offensively, the LA Clippers, they just shot the lights out of the gym. I mean, as much as you guys want me to be mad, and as much as you guys want me to be upset after another putrid loss at home for the Chicago Bulls, I can't be mad. I seriously cannot be mad. I seriously just need to give credit to the LA Clippers, and I need to give credit to two people in particular. I need to give credit to Kawhi Leonard, who went crazy, especially in the first quarter. He finished with 27 points, and Paul George. I mean, every single shot that he attempted tonight, it was almost like it was automatically going in. Like, when he shot like every 10 shots tonight, 9 of them, you feel like it was going to go in. He was 11 of 12 from the field. He was 6 of 7 from his three-point range, 1 shy of a season high. And the Clippers, they were just shooting the lights out from 3. 20 of 40 from beyond the arc for the LA Clippers tonight. But that's part of their game. That is part of their game. The LA Clippers are a team that likes to shoot the 3-ball. And unfortunately, on a night like tonight where Kawhi Leonard and Paul George simply went off, they were simply like microwaves throughout the night. The Chicago Bulls, I think defensively the Bulls were disconnected and discombobulated. There were a couple of times on offense where I saw the Chicago Bulls stand like statues offensively and played iso ball. You know what the Clippers did? The Clippers did a really good job? And Stacey King mentioned this on the broadcast, and I thought that since this is a Raw reaction episode of the show, I think that I need to react a little bit here because the Bulls have no scheme on both ends of the floor. I mean, defensively, they don't know what they're doing, and offensively, at times, they don't know what they're doing. Now, I know it was the second night of a back-to-back, and they used up a whole lot of energy in the overtime throw against Atlanta the other night. So, in that retrospective, I could give the Chicago Bulls a little bit of benefit of the doubt there, but at the same time, it's just inexcusable. It's inexcusable because Paul George and Kawhi Leonard were unstoppable all night, and you couldn't find a way to stop them. Now, to Paul George and Kawhi Leonard's credit, they are both all-stars in the NBA for a reason. And some other guys for the Clippers stepped up too. I mean, we did a good job of limiting Ivica Zubac. He didn't have his pick and roll game because James Harden, he was out with an injury for the Clippers too. But Norman Powell stepped up for them. Daniel Tice stepped up for them. Bones Highland got the start. He had a career high 17 assists and 11 points tonight. As far as the Bulls, Andre Drummond, he showed a lot of good energy coming off the bench, and AC continued his hot hand shooting from three, but I thought it was stagnant tonight. I thought it was stagnant on both ends of the floor, and once Paul George and Kawhi Leonard got going, they were simply unguardable all night. It was almost like Luka Doncic all over again, but I thought at times the Bulls tried to claw themselves right back into the game. I thought they were at times trying to build off energy. That was because Andre Drummond brought out that good energy. But again, too stagnant on both ends of the floor. I thought they were disconnected on defense. And you just got to tip the cap to Paul George and Kawhi Leonard. I mean, that's the bottom line. Once those two got going, it was going to be a very, very long night. And unfortunately, it was a long night for the Bulls as the Clippers secured a season sweep of the Chicago Bulls with this 126-111 win. Now that the Bulls got that game over with, they are in a stretch where the schedule gets easier for Chicago. They got the Washington Wizards on Saturday, which they should win, and then they got the Blazers on Monday, which they should win, but I don't want to sound the alarm here. I'm looking at 2 trap games for the Chicago Bulls. I'm looking at 2 of them because they both have bad records. Houston, they're coming off a win against the Washington Wizards, 135-119. So I know it's going to be a tough game, but without Alfred Şengün, that could be another trap. But at the same time, it could be a breakout game for Nikola Vucevic. And then you got Boston back at home, which is simply unstoppable. So if the Bulls find a way to go 3-1 in this next stretch, I will be okay with that. 2-2 would be unacceptable in this case because if you're the Bulls, you got to get back to 500 or at least get close enough to 500. But credit to the Clippers, credit to Paul George, credit to Kawhi Leonard. They got going early and they simply shot the lights out. There's nothing that you can do here. They shot 60% from the field. The Clippers did 50% from three-point range. The Bulls 48% from the field, 46% from three-point range. The rebounds were 36-35 in favor of the Bulls. They won the offensive rebounding battle 11-6, mostly because of the second half of Andre Drummond. The assists were 32-28 in favor of the Clippers. The steals were 9-4 Clips. The points in the paint were 42-38 in favor of the Bulls. The fast break points 7-5 in favor of the Clippers. But the biggest difference of the game, in my opinion, was the play of Paul George and Kawhi Leonard. I mean, both of those guys were simply unstoppable. They finished with A lot of points. Simply a lot of points. PG-13 added up with 28 points, 5 rebounds, 7 assists, 11 of 12 for the field, 6 of 7 from three-point range. Kawhi Leonard, 27 points, 2 of 5 from 3, 12 of 17 for the field with 5 rebounds, 3 assists, a steal, and a big-time block. Bones Highland, 17 points, career-high 11 assists, 4 of 7 from 3, 6 of 9 for the field with 5 rebounds. Terrence Mann got into the three-point action with 12 points. With 4 rebounds and 2 assists for the Clips. Off the bench, Norman Powell, that's what he does. 18 points, 3 of 6 from 3 with 2 rebounds and 2 assists, and also he had a steal. As for the Chicago Bulls, there was little to no bright spots on the offensive end. I mean, DeMar DeRozan had 21 points, but he damn sure looked tired after exerting a whole lot of energy the night before. He also had 5 rebounds and 4 assists. Torrey Craig got the start in place of Kobe White, and he was solid. 12 points, 4-7 from 3 with 6 rebounds and assists and an assist, especially early. Nikola Vucevic got it going early with 19 points. With 6 rebounds. He was 2 of 4 from three-point range. AC, he's starting to find his three-point stroke. 17 points, 5 of 8 from three-point range with 6 assists. Ayo Dosunmu, he was off tonight with 7 points. Andre Drummond, he brought out really good energy coming off the bench for the Bulls, and I love that. I absolutely love that from Andre Drummond. That's why we got him. He finished with 15 points, 7 rebounds on the night, an assist, 7 of 8 from the field. Javon Carter, he did some good minutes with 12 points, 2 of 3 from 3. Shout out to Drell. He got his first NBA basket with 2 points. Dalen Terry with 4, Bateem with 2. But it was a Clipper kind of night. When PG and Kawhi got going, I knew this game was over way before it even started. More specifically, when Paul George was continuing to make threes consistently. He was 6 for 6 at one point, and as soon as he was making threes, I knew it was going to be a long night. So I'm not mad. I'm not upset. I'm not surprised about this loss for the Bulls. I mean, second night of a back-to-back, these losses sometimes happen, but all you got to do is just tip your hat to Kawhi Leonard and Paul George as the Clippers beat the Bulls. That's going to do it for today's edition of Let 'Em Know Kings United. You can find this show, which is free and available on your favorite podcast app like Spotify, Amazon Music, iHeartRadio, all that good stuff, as well as YouTube. Like this video if you are enjoying this show on YouTube. Hit subscribe to my YouTube channel. Turn on that notification bell. Give the show a follow on your favorite podcast app, and give the show a 5-star review on your favorite podcast app, and hit the like button on YouTube if you are watching on YouTube. I'm your host, Skylar Weisberg. Thank you so much for tuning into this Raw Reaction episode, and I will see you next time on Let 'Em Know Kings United.